News 13's Brendan Herring is going to have a full report tonight on News 13 at 6. Right now, though, he joins us with how you can find out if you're due any money, too. Right, Brandon?
Yeah, that's right, Nicole. We will dig into that issue a little bit later at 6, but right now we are hosting a phone bank. I'm joined here by Treasurer Curtis Loftus, who is leading this phone bank. You can see the folks right here in the conference room behind us. They're waiting to take your calls if you're interested in knowing if you have any money that is unclaimed, if it's sitting there in the Treasurer's program. That number, we'll go ahead and give it to you, 843-294-8432. Just call that number. These folks right here will answer your call. They'll look your name up and let you know if you have any money. Mr. Loftus, how much money is right now in the state's unclaimed property program?
It's $550 million. Isn't that hard to believe?
Yes, and it keeps growing.
It keeps growing because we receive money that we owe to people of South Carolina, to businesses, to churches, to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, people like this TV station. Everybody's got a chance at it.
Yeah, and that, interestingly, it's not just people. We'll get into a little bit more of that a little bit later. We talked a little bit before about how we're talking about small amounts of money, but then also some really large amounts. And for whoever it is, it's good to get some money back.
It is great. It's fun to talk about the large ones. About a month ago, I gave back to this rightful owner $763,000. It was an inheritance that a man didn't know he had coming. But we oftentimes give back $100 or $200, and that goes to someone who maybe it's their medicine for the month, it's their rent for the month, or puts their kid back in tech school. And those are the ones you get heartfelt notes about. You get people in tears. It's people's money. They deserve it. And so we work hard to make sure that they get it.
Yeah, and part of that is doing what you're doing here tonight. So again, the phone bank is going through our 6 o'clock news. Again, the number 843-294-8432. The treasurer would love to give you some money if it is owed to you, and he'll be here throughout the evening. So we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Also, thanks to Treasurer Loftus.
Meanwhile, the state of South Carolina holds about $550 million of unclaimed money, and some of it may belong to you.
We got News 13's Brendan Herring with us right now. Brendan, you say it's not just people either that are owed money. It's also local governments and community organizations and even charities, right?
Yeah, and we wanted to know when there are local agencies like that, there are local governments, rescue squads, any public agency, well, they have clearly published contact information. So how is it that money doesn't get to them? And is anything being done to get that money to the right place? Well, here's what I learned. The Johnsonville Rescue Squad has been at this spot on East Broadway Street for about 48 years, but even still, some people can't get the mailing address right. That's because mail needs to go to the squad's post office box. If not,
the post office send it back, and that's probably what happened in this case.
This case is how 2 insurance payments to the squad ended up in the state's unclaimed cash fund. We shared the total amount with Chief Tom Redmond.
$182.95 and $537.48.
What do you think about that?
I think it's great. We'll apply for it.
Together, just those 2 amounts, $720 and some change.
And that will pay our diesel bill normally for a month.
Chief Redmond says he could also put that money towards supplies. For example, he could buy about 13 shots of Narcan and likely save 13 people from heroin overdoses. But the Johnsonville Rescue Squad certainly isn't an isolated case. A simple search shows various departments in Florence County could have more than $3,500 in unclaimed money. The city of Florence, nearly $1,100. Various departments in Horry County could have more than $7,400 in unclaimed money, and the city of Myrtle Beach may be due more than $1,200. Treasurer Curtis Loftus says the reasons money sometimes doesn't get to people are the same reasons money doesn't get to those local governments and other agencies.
Most of the time, it's a bad address, or it's a bad mailman. It could be the homeowner or the business owner has moved themselves. It could be bad word processing. They transposed an address or put a wrong zip code.
The Murrells Inlet Garden City Fire Department is another public agency with unclaimed money. There you guys are.
All right. Yeah, we can buy something with that.
Nearly $1,000 for the department has been sitting in the state's unclaimed fund since 2008 when a bank turned it in. Chief Norman Knight can only guess that it's money left from when the rescue squad dissolved into the fire department.
We'll certainly proceed with seeing about getting the money. And of course, we're listed here twice. At the end of the day, we could be looking at a total here of looks like about $1,200.
If a business or an individual holds money for someone else owns that money, that holder has the affirmative responsibility, a legal responsibility, to find that owner, and if they can't, they send it to the state, and then we try to find that owner.
Do you even know if they made an attempt?
I didn't get the phone call, and if they got it here at squad, they'd tell them to contact me. And so I'm not aware of any phone calls coming in.
But Loftus says more people are at least turning in money to the state's unclaimed property fund. Its continued growth is proof. He and his staff of 17 do cross-reference and track down why some of the money didn't make it to the rightful owner. But even when the rightful owner is a local government or well-established public agency with obvious contact info, they can't possibly figure out the issue with every case.
Everybody can do better. It's my job and my office's job to get out and make sure more people are aware.
Now that Chief Redmond is aware, he's wasting no time claiming his squad's money.
This week will not go out until we apply for that money.
And you heard Treasurer Loftus there in that story on the phone talk a little bit about getting out there and letting people know how the money is available to them. Obviously, he joins us live here in our studio tonight because we're doing a phone bank, a live phone bank. You can see right here behind us people taking your calls. The number, if you'd like to call in and see if you're owed any money, 843-294-8432. Again, 843-294-8432. We've been kind of busy here, Treasurer, and you guys have also done in your office a little more than phone banks. This is a major part of getting the word out, but you've also done some efforts in trying to get some insurance payments to people a little more proactively.
That's right. You know, we have $550 million in the Unclaimed Property Fund. It's my job to find those people and give it back to them. But we also have gone up north to insurance companies, stock houses, investment places, and we've audited and in some cases had litigation. Just in life insurance policies alone, we brought back $75 million, and that's money that belongs here in the checking accounts of South Carolinians, not up there in big insurance accounts.
Yes. And those are essentially any entity that's still holding money that's supposed to be going elsewhere. Already, we've heard of some people calling in who are owed some pretty big amounts. You guys did some homework even before you came. All sorts of people, agencies, public entities, nonprofits that you found that are owed money in our area.
That's correct. And we just heard a lady get off the phone. There was a lady who called in, had $7,000 waiting for her. We have a church in there with $13,000. We had a state agency the other day back in Columbia. It's $360,000. So it doesn't matter who you are or how well you do your books, you can have money that's laying around.
Right. Treasurer, thank you so much for talking with us, for helping kind of explain a little bit more. We were interested in learning that it's not just people, it's actually businesses and entities out there that are also sometimes some public governments as well. So.
Well, thank y'all for investing in the neighborhood. Y'all help the community. The working people of the beach will be much better off tonight because of y'all's efforts.
Thank you again. We appreciate it. Live in the newsroom, I'm Brandon Herring, News 13.